Hey, you guys, I just want to let you know, small correction. A traditional Saraswati yoga includes Mercury. It has to be Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury. But in this instance, we have the moon there that day, and Mercury is actually giving almost an exact sextile from Capricorn up to Pisces, which is where those planets are. So it's not exactly a Saraswati yoga, but it will have a similar feel because Jupiter's in his own sign. Venus is in her sign of exaltation, and then having this sextile from Mercury, it's going to have the feel of a Saraswati yoga. But traditionally, you need to have all three of those benefics in the same sign. So I just want to clarify that in case you had any questions. Hello and welcome back to Hindustan Astrology. I'm Katya, and in today's video we are going to discuss the February 2023 full month transits. Now we have an exciting month ahead. All month, the planets are leading up to what's called a Saraswati yoga, which takes place at the end of the month. And Saraswati is the goddess of higher education, music, philosophy. She rules dance and all kinds of art. But she also is associated with learning. And we have a buildup of planets that are going to be happening in Pisces, which is where it's going to be. So that's exciting. And plus, we now are settled into the energies a little bit better of Saturn in Aquarius. And this month, we are going to get a very small taste of how that energy is going to be manifesting, because the new and full moons this month, I feel, are really inspiring. It's going to give us a lot of hope. So without further ado, let's take a look at February. Okay, so here we have all of the transits for this month, what's going to be happening. And right off the bat, on February 5th, we have our first full moon. It is at 1:29 p.m. EST. It's at 22 degrees of Cancer, Ashlesha Nakshatra. So I always do my charts from Washington, D.C., because this will kind of tell us what's going on with the United States, which is where I live. It really, I have found after doing this a couple of years that when I use the ascendant to see where the planets are placed, it really does show the focus of what this full moon is going to be about. So we know Cancer is the sign of the mother. It's the sign of nourishment. And Ashlesha is the part of Cancer that is ruled by the Nagas or the snakes. These are like deified snakes. And in Western medicine, we have as the symbol the caduceus, which is the intertwining of snakes. And so in Vedic astrology, Western medicine is associated with Ashlesha. And for the United States, this is happening in the second house, which is the house of the mouth. It is where, we take nourishment, but it's where we vocalize ourselves. And I felt right off the bat this would have something to do with new medicine coming out, maybe new research. Ashlesha is ruled by Mercury, and so definitely, there could be some new information, new studies coming out, even alternative medicine getting proven to be, some form of alternative medicine getting proven to be working for Western medicine. And so we will be able to see new discoveries and breakthroughs, which is very exciting. But the second house is also the speech and what comes out of our mouth. So we have to be careful at this time on the full moon not to bite anybody like a snake, with our words. And realize that words can be very healing, but they can also sting, just like, getting bitten by a snake. And it's the poison. The poison is the medicine part of the snake. So I feel that during this full moon, some new medical research is going to be coming out. Now, Cancer is ruled by the moon, so the moon's in its own sign. This is very strong. And the ascendant is Mrgashira, which is searching. So again, searching for a cure. Now we have settled into Saturn being in Capricorn. I'm sorry, leaving Capricorn, going into Aquarius, and Mars is now direct. So look at Venus. Venus is in Shatabishak, which is Shatabishak is the nakshatra of Aquarius, concerned with healing hard to cure diseases, such as rare diseases. So what's interesting is that I myself am in a study to find out more than the 13 subtypes of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And it's exciting that, you know, during this time, there could be some new research that comes out for several studies. Yeah, it's very exciting. And Ashlesha is ruled by Mercury. Mercury's down here in the 7th house, which is aspecting the ascendant. So that could be even information about how to transform the body. You know, there's all sorts of research being done that we don't even know about, and it's going to be an exciting year, I feel, for that. Now we do have Rahu and Ketu, which is, you know, what's going on for the 18 months that it's in these signs, are in the 5th and the 11th house for this full moon. So the 5th house is education, it's children. I feel like the children are going to get some much needed attention. There's been a real loss of education, you know, in the past. Well, since 2020, since the pandemic started, the kids have really suffered by not being in school. And you can see that's being highlighted here. K2 is lost, 5th house, children, you know, and so this is a time for us to backtrack on the education, make sure that they're getting all of the help they can, and tutors. And Rahu in the 11th is about communities, and it's in Bharani. Bharani is ruled by Venus. This is, I feel like we're going to hear some more about the Roe v. Wade possibly at this time with this here. But yeah, with this Neptune, Venus, this is the midheaven, or the top of the chart. And Saturn is there. And it's in the 9th house. So I feel like this full moon is going to be very hopeful and inspiring. We could even be traveling, you know, more travel happening. Maybe they're finally sorting out the travel mess that we had earlier. Because Mars is in the 12th house as well. And Venus is here in the 9th house. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a time to think about what we nourish ourselves with, what kind of medicine we take. Look to, you know, especially healings of the divine feminine, because that's going to be coming up, like I said, towards the end of the month when we have this Saraswati Yoga. So next we have February 6th at 8:59 p.m. EST, Mercury enters Capricorn. So we see he was at the very end here of Sagittarius. So he's going to join Pluto and the Sun. February 15th, 9:32 a.m. EST, Venus enters Pisces exalted. It's going to be conjunct Jupiter in his own sign. Yes, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter in Vedic astrology, and at Pisces exaltation point of 15 degrees. So that is really exciting. You can see here on the 5th that he's at 1247. So when another planet connects with the exaltation or debilitation point of another planet, you can bet that those themes are going to be intertwined, right? So what is Venus exalted? Why is she exalted in Pisces? Because she's happy for no reason. And Venus debilitated in Virgo is unhappy for every reason, right? just crabby. And so having Jupiter hit Venus's exaltation point, and then Venus is going to join him, Jupiter expands whatever he sits with. So this is excellent for, like I said, creativity and the arts and money. I think the stock market is going to recover. Hopefully the interest rates will go down this month, but I feel like things are really leading up. This month is just kind of like a foreshadowing of what's going to happen in April when Jupiter goes into Aries. So I feel like we're getting some of the good stuff, right? We've been suffering so long past couple of years. And now February 16th at 11:38 p.m. EST, we have Saturn conjunct the Sun. And you can see that's happening here. Because Sun entered Aquarius on the 12th. And so by the time of the 16th, the Sun will conjunct Saturn. It dampens the energy of the Sun. It dampens our vitality. When these two come together, they're arch enemies. So Sun is the superstar. He wants to shine, and Saturn wants to control things. So they don't exactly get along. And Sun can represent the authority figures, and Saturn is karma. So probably we will find out by the 16th more information about the Tyree Nichols case in Memphis. I think that's going to be a theme, especially for the next new moon. And then February 18th at 10:31 a.m. EST, Neptune re-enters Pisces. And you can see that here on the 5th, he's down here in the very end of Aquarius. So he's going to enter up here with Jupiter. Now, what is that energy like? Well, Pisces in general is a very spiritual sign. Neptune is the planet of otherworldliness, and Jupiter expands things. Jupiter is also deception, so I will say, and in the United States chart, we have Sagittarius as the ascendant. So this is going to happen in our 4th house of the homeland. Jupiter can blow the lid off of lies and deceptions and scandals, right? So we could find out more information about these, documents, hidden documents, and all this stuff that we've been lied to by this administration. So I think that's going to be interesting when Neptune re-enters Pisces, right? Because he went into Pisces last year, but then went retrograde and went back into Aquarius. So that is going to bring up some themes of last year as well. And then we have February 20th, 2:06 a.m. EST, new moon at 7 degrees, 11 minutes of Aquarius, Shatabishak. So let's take a look at this chart. So, I feel like this is going to be a good new moon because it takes place on the 20th, and then the 22nd to the 24th is our Saraswati Yoga time. We've got for the new moon, it's at 7:11 of Shatabishak. Shatabishak is the 100 healers, cures hard to cure diseases. So I feel like all this month we're going to be hearing some groundbreaking, pioneering information about our health, and especially I feel like it's going to be mental health, hard to cure diseases, right? And also, we know the whole time that, Rahu's been in Aries, it's about pioneering, but particularly in the nakshatra of Ashwini, we have big pioneers, people that really change the whole game. Now, we do have Saturn conjunct the moon for this full moon, and that can be a damper. And as I discussed with Sun and Saturn, with the moon, moon is our emotions, it's our mother, it's how we feel, and having Saturn there can be a little depressing, right? But I feel like this is telling us that this research is probably going to be about mental health, I feel. Now, the ascendant for this from Washington, D.C. is in Scorpio. Scorpio is concerned with the occult. It's concerned with uncovering deep truths. Now, it is in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha. Let's just talk about that for a minute. So, Jyeshtha is the eldest one, or the eldest star, and associated with Antares, which is the star of war. Very similar energy to Mars, but Jyeshtha is associated with the authorities, and I feel like by the end of this month, we're really going to have to come to grips with the fact that things aren't working in this country when it comes to how things are being enforced, and we need big reforms. And I feel like this new moon is going to help us bring that together. It is happening in the fourth house of the homeland for this chart, right? So how things are exercised in the homeland, how authority is wielded rather, is going to be an issue during this time. Now, the United States chart, which I don't have up, but we have a Sagittarius ascendant. This would be in the third house. And the third house is about communication, about media, about, well, it could be siblings, but I feel like, particularly for this new moon, it's going to be about how enforcement is communicated with the police force. I feel like this is going to be a big issue. Now, we see in Pisces, we have this buildup, and in 2 days later, the moon will join here. Now, Mercury is traditionally associated as the third planet with Jupiter and Venus. I'm sorry, but having Neptune and Moon there, I'm going to call this a Saraswati Yoga because of all this goodness here. Mercury is trining from Aquarius, almost exactly with Jupiter for this new moon, and yeah, so this is going to be an excellent month for the arts and for groundbreaking changes that will affect many people. It's going to be, Jupiter expands whatever he sits with. And we have Mars in Venus's sign of Taurus. So yeah, I feel like, once we can face our demons, we're really going to charge ahead. Because as I said, as Jupiter is going to move fast through Pisces, he's going to enter Aries. And when he goes over the previous eclipse point, we're really going to have a showdown of technology and new things coming to us. So it's all starting right now. And I feel like, things are just going to get better this year. We have the nodes are changing towards the end of this year. And so as Jupiter is with Rahu, right, for up until like November, I think it is, things are just going to be moving ahead very fast with new innovations, new learning, new education. So I feel like this is the start of it, and it's going to be a great month. So I hope that you are doing well, that you and your families are prospering, and that you take advantage of this wave that's going to be coming in. So with that, I will close and say thank you very much. Please go to my website. It's www.hindustanastrology.com. Click on the consultations tab, and it will take you to another link that will take you to my special consulting page that I've made with my team in India. And we've got several good things coming up this year, some workshops planned. Of course, Dr. Sandeep Kanholi will be back. We're just taking a break from him doing the monthly forecast with me. We're just working on deeper research. So with that, I would like to say thank you, and until next time, bye.